Every year I do an easy everyday fall makeup tutorial. Fall makeup is my favorite. It's just my favorite time of year. I don't know if any of you guys are the same, but I just feel like when fall rolls around and things get cozy, my makeup looks better because I'm not sweating it off like I was in the summer. And for some reason, sweater weather just lends itself to more intense makeup. And as a makeup lover, I get thrilled every year. So today I'm going to be doing a super easy everyday routine, and this time I'm going to use all drugstore products because there's just so many incredible products that are so affordable, that are so luxurious feeling, so I really wanted to showcase some of my personal favorites. We're going to start off with base. I'm going to go in with the e.l.f. Halo Glow Liquid Filter. A lot of times when fall rolls around, I go a lot more matte with my makeup. This year I kind of want it to be a little bit more transition-y feeling from summer to fall. So I want a little bit of glow underneath, and this product is absolutely perfect for that. This preps and primes the skin so beautifully for makeup, and you can see it just gives the most insane, beautiful glow. I wanted to use products that I felt like a lot of you may already own, or at least have something similar. So for foundation, we're going to use the Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear Foundation from L'Oreal. This is a favorite of everyone's, I feel like. It's just so good. So we're gonna apply that right on top of the e.l.f. Halo Glow. I'm using the same brush so that it kind of mixes in with that glowy base. So we get a nice long wear, more matte foundation mixed in with that glowy kind of primer product. And the L'Oreal foundation is super long wear, so it's gonna look great all day, but with that e.l.f. Halo Glow underneath, it'll just give it an extra fresh boost. I'm of course going to use my NYX Bear With Me Concealer Serum. This is my favorite concealer at the drugstore and has been for months now. Almost a year maybe. It's just so incredible. I'm going to take that and apply it underneath the eyes to just start to brighten things. And I'm also going to kind of cancel out any redness on the eyelid using that concealer as well. I'm also going to take that concealer and add any more coverage over blemishes just to make sure the entire complexion is nice and even. For powder, I'm going to take one of my most loved drugstore powders. This is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Loose Setting Powder. It's absolutely amazing. You guys know how much I love this. To me, it reminds me a lot of the Laura Mercier powder, but at a fraction of the price. But I absolutely love this stuff. So I'm just going to go ahead and apply this around the eye area first and also through the T-zone. Then I always take a fluffier brush and just set the sides of the face to make sure that that coverage doesn't move throughout the day. I'm just going to take my sponge and just press over that powder to make sure it picks up any excess, because I want the makeup to be locked in all day, but I don't want it to have a powdery finish. For bronzer, I'm going to take one of my favorite affordable bronzers right now, which is this one right here from ColourPop, and this is actually a Super Shock bronzer, so it has more of a putty formula, which initially you might think would only work on top of cream products, but it actually works great on top of powders as well. I just take my brush directly into that and then just stamp it across the skin. I actually like using this on top of powder because I feel like it adds back a little bit of a fresh texture on top of the setting powder, but it's just so good. The color I use is Get Sandy. It's such a great tone and undertone for fair skin tones, but it comes in several different shades. This just adds the right amount of warmth without looking overdone. In the summertime, I feel like I can get away with a little bit more warmth on the skin, but once fall and winter rolls around, I like to keep it a little more natural looking, so I tend to tone down the bronzer a little bit. Even though I'm always heavy-handed year-round with bronzer, I just love bronzer, I like more of a soft sculpt when fall rolls around. Okay, we're gonna fill in the brows with my favorite drugstore brow pencil still, which is the Milani Precision Brow Pencil. I adore this, so I'm just gonna fill in the brows, and then we're gonna do an eye look, which I'm really excited about. Okay, so my brows are filled in. I was actually debating between a few different eyeshadow palettes for this tutorial, but I love like the more cool toned, taupey eyeshadow looks, especially the ones that have been going around that are kind of trendy to kind of do like a grungy, taupey, cool toned eye for fall. And so, I mean, I've used this so many times. The ColourPop That's Taupe eyeshadow palette, it has to be used today because it's just so good. I love it. So we're gonna start off with the shade Boa and just sweep this in the crease and a little bit above to start to create a little definition and to use as a transition shade. I'm also taking that and applying it on the lower lash line as well, just pinching the same brush and blending that out. We're gonna go into this cool toned taupey color at the bottom. If it will focus, here we go. This is called Rock Steady. I'm just using the same brush. I'm gonna tap off the excess and we're just gonna start to kind of press this onto the lid. And I'm using a fluffier brush just to provide a little bit of a lighter application initially so that I don't go too overboard on accident right off the bat. Because I want this to be daytime appropriate, but still have a little bit of like a grunginess to it. And I thought that this shade would be perfect. So I'm just blending that up and then touching it in the crease and kind of blending it in with that first shade we just applied. Same thing on this eye. I'm going to switch to a smaller brush and I'm going to take that same exact color and we're going to take this right up against the lash line across the entire lower lash line. This color looks so cool all over the eyes. I love it. I'm going to take a clean, fluffy eye brush and just kind of buff around the edges to really smoke this out. Okay, how cool does that look by itself? You could totally stop here if you're following along. I'm just adding a little more shadow to this eye to even things out. But if you want to go a little more glam, and if you're like me and you like to wear a little more makeup during the daytime and fall, then you can continue with this step. I'm going to dip into the Super Shock Shadow in the palette, which is Slated, an incredible color. And I'm just going to take this and start pressing it onto the eyelid, starting in the center, but honestly, applying it all over the lid. I'm obsessed with this palette. Oh, it's so good. Plus this shadow look is so easy to achieve. It's basically 2 shades, 3 I guess if you count the transition shade we just used. But it's so pretty and so effortless, but also just adds like the perfect amount of definition around the eyes, which I love for fall. So I'm just sweeping away any of the glitter fallout that came down from applying the Super Shock Shadow. You guys know I'm not a huge eyeliner person, but it's very trendy and I know a lot of people are. So I'm going to be wearing the Burt's Bees eyeliner. This is the Nourishing eyeliner in the shade Warm Brown. It's a really soft color, but I did just want something on the top lash line to kind of make the lashes look a little bit more full. I'm also going to apply the eyeliner really close to the lashes on that lower lash line, connecting it to the outer corner. I feel like eyeliner all the way around the eye and also tightlining the eye all the way around the eye is really trendy right now. You know, it's baby steps for me, so I'm just gonna stick to this, just doing the outer corner of the top and bottom lash line to create my definition. Now I'm going to apply my favorite drugstore mascara, the Maybelline Lash Sensational. I love this one. I'm gonna be really generous with this, as I usually am. I just love like a lot of mascara, especially in the fall. The contrast in front of a little bit of a smokier eye is my absolute favorite. And this isn't even like an intense smoky eye, but I just feel like having a nice bold lash creates such a beautiful contrast. We're gonna do lips and then blush. So I'm gonna take off any foundation that's on the lips, also the lip balm that's left on my lips. I knew for this look I wanted to use the NYX Nude Truffle lip liner. It's so good, especially for fall. So I'm lining and semi-filling in the lips. I'm mostly filling in just the corners and leaving the center bare. And then I really wanted to use my Maybelline Vinyl Lipstick. Well, actually I had 2 options. Maybe I should try this one first. The Almay Lip Vibes Lipstick in Never Regret. Let's see. Yeah, that one's a little too warm. So I'm just gonna wipe that off. So yeah, I am gonna go in with the Superstay Vinyl Ink. This is from Maybelline. It's in the shade Cheeky. I love this combo. Nude Truffle and then this in the center. There's something about it that I'm obsessed with. I oftentimes go with something a lot more matte for an everyday lip look for fall, but I really like this formula. It's so long lasting, it's insane. And it's not a full gloss, it just looks healthy on the lips. We are going to go into blush. I found this in my collection and I thought that it looked very fall. So this is from Flower Beauty. It's the Flower Pots Powder Blush in the shade Warm Hibiscus. Has a little bit of a sheen to it, but I thought it would kind of add a nice rosy tone to the cheek and also like a golden sheen. So I'm just gonna smile and apply that to the apples of the cheeks. A glowy blush like this is kind of a 2-for-1 product. I just don't feel like I need highlighter when I use glowy blushes, so I thought this would be perfect for a quick everyday look, and it will leave my skin looking really healthy, which is kind of what I wanted for this look. All right, we're going to assess the situation. Let's see, should we add a little more bronzer? Obviously. So I'm just gonna take that same ColourPop Super Shock bronzer, just add a little bit more around the face and also down the neck, just to make sure everything looks really even. Other than that, I'm happy with where everything is at. So I'm gonna go ahead and set the face using the Neutrogena Hydrating Setting Spray. I love this setting spray. Okay, we're gonna let that kind of sink into the skin. And then I'm gonna take my sponge and press it into the skin even more. My Rimmel Stay Matte Powder lid snapped in half, so it's in a Ziploc bag now. So I'm just gonna go ahead and take my matte powder and just touch up the T-zone a little bit because I want that freshness, but I also want the T-zone to not look oily or greasy, so this always saves the day. And then to set the brows, I'm gonna take the NYX Brow Glue. This is such an intense brow gel. A little goes a very long way, so I'm just gonna use this to lock things in place. Okay, so there you have it. This is the final look. I love how it turned out. I feel like normally my easy everyday fall makeup looks every year are a little bit more on the matte side, but I actually really like this more fresh approach while still incorporating some of those classic fall trends that I really, really love, like a little bit more of a 90s lip liner, and then also this taupey, glittery eye, and then a little more eyeliner than I normally wear. So I really do enjoy this look, and I hope you guys do too. Tag me if you recreate this. It's so easy to do. You can honestly use whatever you have, but I absolutely love how this look turned out. That's it for me today. If you guys want to check out any of these products, as always, I have them listed and linked in the description box down below. Sometimes it's nice to have a little fall makeup refresh, especially with drugstore products, so everything will be listed for you in the description box. I love you all so much, and I hope you have an amazing day wherever you are, and I will see you in my next video. Love you. Bye!